I am Nick Shell, the self-help hacker. I received in real time, in my real time, whatever day I shot this video, I received a comment on an older video. Someone said, "You can't be attractive to everyone," which whatever the video was about, I was not trying to say that. Ultimately, yes, I've said before, there are certain things you can generally do to work with what you've got and make yourself more attractive. For men, grow a beard. Women, get cool old school glasses. Research shows that. But ultimately, my intent was never to say that you can be attractive to all people. But I think that that's a good starting point for really the underlying issue here is, I think a lot of the fact, see, that's the thing. A lot of times when people say something, whether it's in a comment or in real life, they're ultimately reflecting what they're sorting out in their own brains and how they see the world. So the person who left that comment, to me, it implies that person who says you can't be attractive to everyone, that means they just realize that, or they're learning that right now. So let's talk about that. Ultimately, I think the underlying issue is, do you want everyone to like you? Do you want everyone to like you? I can tell you, let's flash back a couple decades when I was in high school. And I remember there was this married couple at church that I looked up to, the young married couple at the time. And somehow I got in conversation with the wife, and I was telling her that it was really important to me that people liked me as far as seeing me as a good person. I want everyone to see me as a person who's nice to everybody, never rude to anybody, but someone who's, I want to be seen as kind to everybody. Ultimately, I was saying I want everybody to like me. And in such subtle wisdom, she says, "Nick, you can't get everybody to like you. That's not how it's going to be." And pretty much that seed did not get planted and grow anywhere, but I still remember it, so I guess it had some effect. It was ultimately a matter of life experience to get me to the point now where, of course you can't make everybody like you. You can do things to generally be liked, but like a video I made recently, I said, I'm comfortable being perceived as a villain. I have to be, because I will always be perceived as some sort of arbitrary villain to other people. If I drive a little slow, then people get mad. If I drive a little too fast, people get mad. I'm the enemy. Who's that jerk over there in the Jeep? That's a very basic version of it. But if someone were to find out one of my views on a hot topic, like say abortion or Donald Trump or immigration or whatever the thing is, then they would probably put me in a tribe and think he's on the wrong tribe, whatever it is, because that's how people are. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay now, post age 35, I'm totally okay with that. I'm very comfortable with it. I actually embrace it. I think it's important to recognize when people perceive you as unlikable. True story, it happened in the past week. At my job, I am ultimately in sales, and someone, they told me that I kind of annoyed them. I was too aggressive and I sounded like a used car salesman. What's funny though is, in the grand scheme of things, it all worked out and they got what they needed quicker than they could have got it from somebody else. I saved them a lot of trouble in their life, basically because I was a little aggressive and I took the lead because I saw that I needed to in that situation, so I did. Now, imagine if I was not as emotionally intelligent, and when they said I seem like a used car salesman, what if I thought, oh no, they don't like me? Like, a used car salesman, isn't that an insult? That means like I'm like cheap and sleazy and I'm just like selfish. I don't want them to think that about me. Imagine if I thought that. I didn't. And immediately in real time, I said, look, I know that I may be a bit aggressive, but I'm also very skilled in what I do. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to make your life easier. I'm going to ask you to trust me on this, and I'm going to keep you updated. It's ultimately your decision. But, and of course, after I had that conversation with them, a few days later, they actually kind of apologized and said they were sorry they were kind of harsh on me there at first. But see, that whole thing though, a different year in my life, I couldn't have handled that. Now I can. And that's why I'm sharing that story with you now, so that you can realize that for yourself. See, I owned being a car salesman. I own that. I thought if that's how the person perceives it, because anything you believe is true in your mind. And the person thought that about me. Granted, they changed their opinion after I did the thing and saved them a lot of time and money by helping them out in the business transaction. They're very happy. They thanked me multiple times. But I had to own that villain mask that they were putting on me. Okay, if that's who I am to them, then that's who I am. But I'm still going to do my best to help them despite them. Isn't that funny? Sometimes you have to help people despite them if they'll let you. And other people will outright refuse your help even if you're trying to help them. And you have to accept the fact that not everybody wants your help. But that story worked out ultimately because I did not flinch at all. I accepted that to them I was a used car salesman. And now they don't see me that way anymore because ultimately I became the thing they envisioned, and then they realized, oh, actually, he's not that at all. He's just got a different personality than me, and that's all it is. And I think ultimately even that was a form of tribalism that they were sorting through. Now it's all good. But I always reference Michael Scott and Andy Bernard from The Office. That show would be a lot less funnier if they weren't constantly trying to get people's approval of them. If they weren't constantly trying to get everybody to like them. Both of them were the boss at some point in the show. And at one point, while Michael Scott was the boss, you still had Andy Bernard, and they both had the same goal. I want everybody to like me. It's almost like they were almost competing for everybody to like them both. And Andy wanted Michael to like him. Their identity was caught up in everybody liking them, as if that were a contest, if that was like a collection. If I can collect all these likes, why is this sounding so familiar? All right, social media, likes, it's all about the likes, man. If more people like me, then I matter more, right? Because that's not reality, but that's a way people perceive reality. But it's like that. It's like collecting likes in real life. The more people that like me, then the better my life is, because my identity is based on people liking me? No. In reality, especially post age 35, you realize, wow, I wasted a lot of time, energy, and emotion trying to get people to like me that it wouldn't have changed anything had they done. Closing with this story. I've shared this before on my channel here, but never in Self-Help Hacker series. The story takes place in 1988. I was 7. It was the summertime. My parents agreed to let my sister and I get both get a cat. So two cats would now be part of our shell family household in Fort Payne, Alabama. And ultimately they would live outside, in the garage, etc. So with these 2 cats, we went to this lady's house, which she was either giving the kittens away or hardly charging anything for them. So we go, in my mind, see, back in the late 80s, there was Morris the cat. Google that, Morris the cat. You can even Google Morris the cat for president, 1988, and you'll see a Google image of this. So he was like the mascot for this like cat food company or whatever. And so because of that, and because of Garfield and Heathcliff and all these other cartoons from the 80s, I had in my mind, I want an orange cat, because that would be cool. So orange cats are cool. So we go down to the lady's house, and I see, half a dozen or so kittens. And I see, sure enough, there's an orange kitten. So there I am trying to get the cat. And my mom sees the struggle, and she says, Nick, why don't you go after one that wants you? Why don't you go to the one that's coming towards you? See, look, there's a cat. It's trying to get to you, but you won't let it come to you because you're trying to focus on the other one. What about the one that's coming to you? Why don't you get the cat that's coming to you? And imagine, it was right in front of me. This other cat actually liked me. It was a brown and white cat. It liked me for who I was. All I had to do was kneel down, put my arms out, and even though I was focusing on another cat, it said, hey, I'm right here, I'll love you. And so, obviously the story ends with me getting Gabriel, the cat, the brown and white cat. So much for the orange cat. But that was a valuable life lesson that my mom taught me. I'm not trying to, because it really is about life in general. It's about people. It's about people. You can't get everybody to like you. You shouldn't base your identity off of that. And you're wasting a lot of time, energy, and emotion if you do try to make that how life works, because it doesn't work that way. There are lots of people whose approval you just don't need. You don't need them to like you. It's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. What a struggle. What a pointless struggle. Please like me. And they never do. Okay, what about all the people that are coming up to you, ultimately saying, hey, I'll be part of your life, but for whatever arbitrary reason, there's got to be a reason you're not paying attention to them. They don't meet your standards. They're not cool enough for some reason. What if you, in theory, lower your standards and say, oh, there's people over here that actually want to hang out with me. They actually accept me for who I am. Even though I'm kind of a mess, they'll like me anyway. Choose the white and brown cat instead of the orange cat. But the people version of that. Your comments are right here.